This is Emily Ebert, Demi Bartonek's, and Michaela Serrioz's ethics presentation. The purpose behind our group's presentation is to address the moral issues and risks behind human cloning. We are using Dolly the sheep as an example of cloning, and from Dolly's example, we will construct arguments against human cloning. The Roslin Institution website provided the information on Dolly's life and how she was created. Dolly was an experiment conducted at the Roslin Institute by scientists Ian Wilmot, Keith Campbell, and their colleagues. Dolly was cloned through the process of somatic cell nuclear transfer. Dolly was born on July 5, 1996, but her birth was kept under the radar for quite some time. She was the only lamb to survive after 277 attempts. When the scientists at Roslin announced Dolly's birth and their discovery, the wave of press coverage was enormous. The magnitude of the discovery shocked the scientific community as well as people around the world. In an attempt to let Dolly lead a normal sheep life, she was allowed to breed. During her short lifetime, Dolly gave birth to a total of 6 lambs. Even though the scientists tried making Dolly's life normal, she herself was not. At the age of 1, tests revealed that Dolly's telomeres were much shorter than other sheep at her age. Telomeres are sections of DNA at the end of chromosomes. These telomeres get shorter as cell divisions occur and as the animals age. Dolly's DNA was much older than she was, and which caused her to age very quickly. Dolly was euthanized on February 14, 2003, from severe arthritis and sheep pulmonary adenomatosis. Dolly died at the age of 6, while most sheep lived to the age of 11 or 12. Since the birth of Dolly, mice, cows, pigs, and even human embryos have been cloned using the somatic cell nuclear transfer method. Somatic cell nuclear transfer, or SCNT, as described by animalresearch.info, is a method where the cell nucleus from an adult cell is transferred into an unfertilized developing egg cell. This developing egg cell has had its nucleus removed. The hybrid cell is then stimulated to divide by an electrical shock. Once the cell has developed into a blastocyst, it is implanted in a surrogate mother. According to our ethics textbook, Analyzing Moral Issues, with the announcement of Dolly's birth, many countries established temporary bans on human cloning research. In the United States, the 1997 Cloning Prohibition Act banned the use of cloning for the creation of humans for 5 years. This ban was renewed in 2002, and in 2003 the act was amended and placed another 5-year ban on human cloning. These bans are in line with the majority opinion. People are repelled by many aspects of human cloning, and almost everyone anticipates the possible misuses and abuses of the practice. Our group believes human cloning is ethically wrong. We support our thesis with facts on how human cloning does not treat human life with dignity, how it disrupts the view of a normal family, it causes issues concerning an individual's identity, and also puts the offspring, egg donor, and birth mother at severe risk.
Our first argument against reproductive cloning children is that it is very unsafe. Cloning scientists and other mammals agree that cloning children is far too risky to attempt. There are many potential dangers that can occur to the cloned child, the egg donor, and the birth mother. The risks to clone child are numerous. Human cloning would have a very high failure rate. According to Learn Genetics, the success rate of cloning varies from 1 to 3%. In recent animal cloning experiments, a very small percentage of the implanted clones have resulted in live birth, and most of the offspring suffer from severe and fatal complications shortly after birth. The cloned animals that have survived to an older age have shown signs of premature aging, immune system failure, and unexplained death. There is so much evidence to conclude that cloning would lead to have severe issues for the child. As for the egg donor, there is the risk of the woman's future reproductive health. An egg donor reproductive health can be damaged by the hormonal hormonal treatment used for egg retrieval. Also, human cloning puts the surrogate mother at risk. Life Science states that the mother can experience an enlarged placenta, which can result into little blood flow to the child. In animals, scientists have found that the mothers have difficulties giving birth to cloned offspring due to the disease called large offspring syndrome. Large offspring syndrome is a condition where the offspring's organs are abnormally large at birth. In human cloning, if human cloning is allowed, the birth mother would suffer from late-term fatal losses and serious complications during labor. Another risk that human cloning poses is that the cloned individuals may experience concerns about his or her distinctive identity. Human cloning threatens a cloned person's sense of identity and individuality. Our genetics don't determine our identities, but our genetics unquietness is an important source for who we are and how we regard ourselves. Normal individuals know that their unique gifts and characteristics have not been previously posed and therefore go on to live and choose their own future that is not already determined. A cloned child is at risk of living a life that is overshadowed by the original being. The parents or other persons may try to shape the new life according to the original. As a cloned individual may be constantly compared to the twin, all of these aspects lead to psychic burdens forced on the offspring. A cloned individual may never escape the shadow of his or her original, and they may not be able to live up to their parental expectations of replicating, imitating, or replacing the original.
Another argument against human cloning is that it would redefine parenthood and family ties. According to bioethics.gov, if human cloning is allowed, the clearest designations between father, mother, brother, and sister would become blurred. A mother could give birth to her genetic twin, and the father would be genetically identical to his son. The cloned offspring would have a special tie to only one of the parents, and this could cause issues within family dynamics. If the child were cloned from someone who is not a family member, this can also cause problems. The child that is cloned from someone outside of the family has been produced as a precise genetic image of another and for some particular reason. The cloned individual is going to seek connection with the original, which may lead to complications within his or her current family. Adopted children seek connection to their biological parents, but the cloned child would seek a connection that is much greater because their original would be their twin, and he or she was a clone of the original for a specific reason. A cloned family is much different from a natural or an adoptive family. By breaking down barriers between generations and the repelling aspect of father-son or mother-daughter twins, cloning would strain the social ties between families. Cloning makes the procreation of children a type of manufacturing. According to Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative and many other philosophies, humans have great value. These philosophies stress the importance of treating people as ends in themselves and never as a means only. The practice of cloning treats people as merely tools or devices that satisfy other people's goals. In recent years, genetic scientists have considered using cloning as a new type of organ donation. By using clones as organ donators, we are once again reducing people to just their valuable parts and treating people as a commodity. All types of cloning, sexual, reproductive, and organ donation cloning, involves using a human to carry out someone else's desires and is morally unacceptable. In Leon Kass's The Wisdom of Repugnance, Why We Should Ban the Cloning of Humans, he states that human cloning would represent a giant step toward turning begetting into making, procreation into manufacturing. Procreation is a natural process. A child's genetics is determined by nature and chance. In procreation, the child is genetically kin to both of the parents, but at the same time, each child is genetically unique. Cloning takes away all of these aspects of procreation. The practice of cloning is a practice of human design on another individual. The total genotype of the cloned individual is selected and determined by other people. This is not how children are to be created. All people have the right to be unique and should not be the projection of their parents' plans and wishes. By practicing cloning, we are turning human nature and procreation into raw material that can be used at human disposal. Human life is to be treated with dignity. Cloning treats the individual as a commodity.
In conclusion, we have provided many points against human cloning. Our first point was the potential health risk to all persons involved in the cloning process. As the dollar the sheep, she was not a normal sheep and had many health problems. This can happen in humans and the cloned individuals may suffer from defects in their genetics or overall health. Individuals may also experience pathological burdens because they are cloned. These cloned children would be constantly compared to its original. As another issue is that cloning destroys our view of a normal family, and clones break down the barriers of generations, which would cause confusion with the family's units. Our last point was that cloning turns procreation into manufacturing. Cloning disregards treating all forms of human life with dignity. If we as a social allow cloning to take place, we are removing the human body from its social and personal contacts and reducing it to an object that can be exploited. In science, all must ask the basic question involving cloning. Just because we can doesn't mean we should.